Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel where we talk about all things Facebook ads. My name is Sydney. I'm the founder of Vertex Marketing Agency. And today I want to talk to you about whether you should be using image ads or video ads for your Facebook ads. Now, I'm going to start this by saying everything depends. I feel like that's always my answer, is that it always depends. It depends on your type of business, depends on your objectives. But I'm gonna give you kind of the rundown of what I've seen so far in terms of video ads versus image ads. And hopefully you can make your own informed decision about it. I think one of the main things to consider is that the more you ask of your customer, or the more that you expect from them, the more attention you should be paying to your ads, the more you should make it a big deal if what you're asking of them is a big deal. Now, I say that one in terms of if you're asking for just regular traffic versus actually getting conversions on your website. So just asking for traffic or even just using the reach or a brand awareness objective, that's a lot higher up in the funnel than using something like conversions, sales, or even asking to become a lead for your business. So even between those two types of objectives, the more you're asking of your customers, the more you expect that they do for you, the more you should be doing for them. Obviously, making videos is a little bit more complicated, takes a lot more work and resources, but the more you ask of someone else, the more work that you should be putting in. Now, this also comes to actually what kind of value does your product give someone? So if your product is $20, versus a $30,000 product or service, again, the $30,000 product or service is going to be asking more of their customer because it costs more, there's more investment and everything. And so if you're in that market, for sure, you want to be investing as much time as possible and giving your customers value so that they then provide you with the value that you want and that you expect, which is a conversion at the end of the day. So consider how big of a deal your product or service is and make sure you're adding the same or more effort into your ads. I hope you understand what I mean there. If you don't, let me know in the comment section, but I hope that makes sense. Now, with that in mind, let's just maybe talk about what I mean by video versus image ads. So video means anything that's animated. It could be a GIF, video, short form, long form, basically anything that animates on the screen, that's a video to me, okay? Anything that's an image would be just a still image, whether that's on stories, on your news feed, or even as a carousel, those are all images to me. It's something still and it does not move once your user sees it, okay? So there's pros and cons to both of them. So let me just list out everything that I have to say about videos, then everything that I have to say about images. And then I'll give you my opinion kind of at the end about what I personally like to use or what I think that you should use. Okay, so videos, I have just found that videos tend to perform better for a longer period of time. I feel like their lifespan is just so much longer than regular images because there's more to watch. Someone might watch the first 3 seconds. Then on the second time they see it, they might watch the first 15 seconds, and then finally maybe they watch it to 100% on the third time they see it. So I just feel like there's a lot more potential for a video to perform a lot longer. So if you have fewer resources, like, you know, someone even editing videos or making images or graphic designs, a video can last a lot longer and get you results for a longer period of time. I find videos also can tell a better story. You can explain a lot more things. So especially if you have like more of a complex product, I feel like video can just have so many more elements to it that an image cannot. I also find it has more potential to be better. So if a video didn't perform well in the first time, you can tweak it, you can change it, you can take out some bits, add new voice overlay. Whereas an image, you can't really change much about it aside from maybe what it looks like, but there's really no animated component. There's no like audio for the most part, unless you add some sound over it. And so there's just like so many less elements in an image than there is in a video. With a video, you can iterate on that video and make different variations. You can imitate it and make the same type of thing, but a little bit different. So there's like lots more variations that you can do with a video than just a regular image. An image kind of just, once you do it, it's done. And while you can change some elements to it, won't really be that much different. I also love the videos. Obviously, they fit in the Reels placement. They look very native when they go onto stories and even the newsfeed because there's so much video content like TikTok, Instagram Reels, and Facebook. I mean, everything has video content now. So I feel like it just blends in a lot more. And overall, I just feel like it has more potential to get reach. Now, that's kind of debatable, but I just personally, I like watching videos a lot better than I like looking at images. And I know that's the case for almost the entire population, which is why they push videos a lot more. Now, the caveat to videos is that, of course, it does take a lot more planning, a lot more resources. It takes a good video editor, a good structure, and so it can be a lot more complicated to create a good video. And while overall, I do think that videos can convert better, only if your video is good. A bad video is just as bad as a bad image. So obviously we're going to be talking about good stuff here, and which one you should be focusing more of your time on. So that's kind of my information for videos. That's usually what I'm going to tell my clients if they have worked majority of their time on images for their ad account. And when I work with clients, that's usually the case, is that they have tons of images, or they're using just product images, and they're missing on the video element. And I'll explain to them these are the reasons why I think we should be focusing more on videos. But of course, making videos is more complicated, and that's usually the biggest caveat that we run into, is that how do I make video? How do I source video? How do I get people to make me videos? And I do have other videos about that on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, so go check it out. I'm not gonna dive into it today, but hopefully I can just give you an idea of should I be using videos or images for my ad account. So let's get into images. Images, I find, are very easy to make. Almost everyone these days is a graphic designer or has some sort of graphic designing skill, and they're good with images. Using softwares is relatively easy. They take a lot less time. Pretty much anyone can do it, especially with all the tools that Canva offers these days. Anyone can be a graphic designer. So they're just a lot easier to make. They take less time. You can probably pound out a lot more in a shorter period of time. And I do find that images can perform really well at the beginning. So while a video might take a long time to kind of pick up and learn really what works, images, usually if they're going to work or they're not, it's right from the get-go. If it doesn't work, you can change it real quick, and if it does work, it gets results right away. But then I find that they plateau. So like I was saying about videos, I do find that they last a lot longer. Images have a much shorter lifespan, and while they might get results right in the beginning, you're gonna need to switch that out in the next couple of weeks, is kind of what I've seen. Now, the exception to that I found is actually carousels, and I actually love using carousels in a few different ways. I love using, catalog sales campaigns, dynamic product ads. So I love the dynamic part of carousels, and also just regular carousels, whether it's an explainer carousel where each slide kind of explains something different about the product, different features, different benefits, or just image-based carousels that show different types of products or different angles of the same product. I found these type of carousels actually can work really well. So I'm not going to pull that into my entire idea that I personally prefer videos, and I just think we should focus more on video, which I'll get into a little bit afterwards. But that is the exception. I do find carousels work really well. They're easy to do, and you can put them up, and they also usually have a very long lifespan. So I do love carousel. Another thing about images is that it does not fit in the Reels placement, and while it does fit very well, let's say in the Facebook right column or on Marketplace or Facebook groups, although it has those placements, images can't really be on Reels placement. So that's what I don't love about it, but it does have those additional placements. I also just find images kind of look like ads. I feel like if you're making an image ad, you're making it with the design that makes it kind of look like an ad, and I don't love that. I don't like when ads look like ads, although they do have to have specific elements to the ad, for example, a hook, the body, and then a call to action. I find image ads, they just look like ads. They look like plain old ads. Now, I don't like that if you're selling an e-commerce product, or even some service-based companies. But what I do kind of like that for is let's say if you're having a webinar, I sometimes actually like that look of an actual ad, because it's hey, this is my exact point. I'm putting this ad in front of you. Whereas pretty much for anything else, I don't like when things look like ads. So I don't like the way the ad looks as an ad. That's it. And then finally, I don't find that images can tell much emotion or story. Really, you look at it and you know exactly what it is, and that's pretty much it. You read it once, you look at the image once, and there's really nothing else to it. Now, as humans, we like stimulation. We want, even our videos, we want scenes to change at least every 1, 2 to 3 seconds, ideally, because we like quick, fast movements, and we lose our attention very easily. And this images don't move, and they don't really tell any type of story, and so I just don't see them as that very strong compared to a good video ad. Now, with all that being said, I'm sure you can assume kind of my position on whether you should be using video ads or image ads. And for the most part, I feel like if you're watching this video, I feel like you've probably already tried image ads and you're wondering if you should actually put in the effort to make video ads. So my answer is yes. If you can get a good video, by user-generated content or even more branded content that tells a story, it has all of the elements in the video like a hook, problem, solution, demo, maybe some social proof, and a call to action. And you really hone in on how your product solves a real problem for your target market, and everything is just visually appealing. I think your ads can perform so much better than just a single image ad over the long run. And while it takes a big learning curve right from the beginning, it's worth it in the end. And I've turned around a lot of Facebook ad accounts by simply introducing pretty easy to make videos with along some other changes along with it. But introducing video content or maybe something that you haven't tried yet is usually what's going to turn your ad account around. And videos have really done that countless times before. Not to say images don't perform well ever. I just think that if you're going to be investing your time in something, video is definitely the place to be. And especially if you're using Facebook ads in hopes of getting sales or even leads in return, if you're asking something of your customer and asking them to put their time and energy into getting in contact with you or making a purchase from you and trusting you, I think the effort needs to be reciprocated for your audience. And while images can do that, of course, ads are ads, I just feel that there is so much more potential for videos than there is with images. So that's kind of my take on it. Of course, it all is dependent on what you can source for your own brand, who you have access to, but knowledge is everywhere. And we have tons of other videos that explain how to work with UGC creators or how to make a nice video. Lots of different ideas for Facebook ad creatives, and there's a ton of ideas out there. So don't be afraid to try out new Facebook ad videos or images to just take your ads to the next level. There's definitely potential out there for you. And sometimes it's just trying something new. So that's it for today's video. I hope that answered your question. If you have any more questions, drop them in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer them. And if not, then I will see you in the next video.